Hello and welcome to Scambait Facts. In this, our debut episode, we will teach you how some so-called scam baiters reverse the connection to access the computer of the scammer and either steal or delete all their files. So let's talk about reversing the connection on the scammer. Does it really work? What does it mean? How do they do it? And can they really delete all the scammer's files? One lie that some scam baiters tell to create their clickbait videos is that they are reversing the connection to hack a scammer. This is provably false, and it is just a sleight of hand trick. The connection is not really being reversed at all. Instead, a second connection back to the scammer's computer is being initiated. Here is how they do it. In order to pull this off, the scam baiter will need a computer and two virtual machines on that computer. One virtual machine is the bait machine, and the other virtual machine is the trap machine. For the bait machine, a version of Windows is recommended. For the host and for the trap machine, any operating system will work, and honestly, we recommend Linux. The bait machine in this scenario is a Windows virtual machine that has been made to look like a victim's computer. This machine is otherwise a throwaway machine, and typically restored from a backup image prior to each bait attempt. The trap machine is a virtual machine with a number of remote access programs installed, usually under a fake account name like Terms of Service or TeamViewer Support, with the goal of fooling the scammer into accepting a connection request. In order to pull this off, the scam baiter will call a scammer. The baiter will play along with the script until the scammer eventually directs them to download and install a remote desktop application like AnyDesk, UltraViewer, or TeamViewer. Then, the scammer will direct the baiter to install and set up the program, and will send a connection request. Once this connection request is made, if the baiter is watching the incoming IP addresses, you can get the scammer's IP address if they are using AnyDesk, but can only get a proxy server if they are running Ultra or TeamViewer. Once the scammer sends the connection request, the baiter will send a connection request from the trap machine if they are using AnyDesk. One lesser-known scam baiter, for example, will claim that the scammer has to accept the new terms of service. If they are using Ultra or TeamViewer, the baiter will say something about requiring the password for partner. The goal here is to fool the scammer into accepting a remote desktop request. Unfortunately, due to the crudeness of this approach, it has a very low success rate, as scammers will often recognize what is happening very quickly and will reject the request and terminate the call, often after a litany of Hindi curse words. But what if, in the rare event, this ruse does work? Well, in that case, the baiter will get limited access to the scammer's computer while the scammer is distracted with the connection to the bait machine. This usually does not last very long, and baiters will often try to download files from the scammer's computer. But can they delete all of their files? No, as they cannot delete any files that Windows will not let them delete, such as System32. Anyone claiming they can delete files from System32 is misinformed, as Windows will not allow a normal user to delete files locked with administrator rights. Is it hacking? Not really, not in the strictest sense of the word. While the baiter is using a false pretense, the scammer is allowing the trap machine to access his or her machine. Again, only in the rare occurrence that this actually works, which is less than 2% of the time. But it is definitely not the type of hacking where an intruder gains silent, remote access to the machine via the utilization of an exploit or vulnerability in the operating system. So to that end, it is more a social engineering than a hack, and may not be considered a hack at all. But what is definitely not happening is that in no way is a connection getting reversed like they claim. There is an old saying that if something is too good to be true, it usually is. In the case of scam baiters reversing the connection to the scammer, this is a case of it being too good to be true. Instead, some scam baiters are using a smoke and mirrors trick to convince the scammer to give them access to their computer. So, take any claims we have such and such scammer with a grain of salt.